So, new month, new video. Yes, I wasn't expecting this to be my return to YouTube, to return to uploading after a month of not uploading anything. I mean, it's just a hobby, but still, I never expected it would be about Assassin's Creed, much less about Ubisoft. Two things that at this point, spoiler alert, I couldn't give two shits about. I really couldn't. I feel like Assassin's Creed as a franchise has already seen its course. I feel it's overstayed its welcome far enough, and it's being handled by Ubisoft, a company that, in my honest opinion, does not deserve your attention, your respect, much less your money. But I'm still here to talk about the new trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Because if there's something that I care about, is history. I really enjoy history. I'm an avid student of history. I always enjoyed it. I have a degree in foreign relations, and you have to study history in order to understand the context of what's happening today. So that's kind of my thing in some regards, just to give it context. And Assassin's Creed Shadows has been controversial to say the least. I mean, the video and every single thing related to it seems to be being ratioed out of eternity. I mean, it seems to be turning into dust by everyone that's actually downvoting it, and it seems to be really bad. But why is it bad? Well, to me, there's two reasons. I'm gonna spoil it. I have a custom of, hey, I'm gonna answer the main question of the video very concisely at the beginning of it, and then I'll explain myself a little bit better. And here's the main two reasons that I feel like people are not enjoying this. The first, that historically inaccurate, and the second is that the second main character, the woman, is a very boring fucking character. Let's be honest here. And this is not me trying to be like, oh no, another female empowering character, which is again boring. I mean, again, another character like that, and it's Ubisoft. They're gonna DEI everything they can, if they possibly can. But there is some historical inaccuracy supposedly with the trailer. I have already watched the trailer. Okay, this is not going to be a video of me reacting to it. And spoiler alerts, there is no gameplay to the trailer. But let's go to the first topic at hand that got people so mad about it. And the topic is this guy right here in the right. His name is Yasuke. And before you ask, is this real? Was there actually an African samurai in Japan during the Sengoku era, which is the era that the game is going to be based upon? And apparently, yes, it did. Although how did they find him as a character in Assassin's Creed does not seem to be that historically accurate. I mean, this is how they wrote. Yasuke, the powerful African samurai of historical legend. Ooh, okay. Historical, yes. Of historical legend, Here's the thing that gets people riled up about this trailer. Apparently, even the Japanese are not enjoying very much how they are treating Japanese history with this game so far. It's that we don't know much about Yasuke, which gives a lot of narrative liberties in where do you go with a character. I can understand that it's fiction, so have at it. That's not the main issue here. But the problem is that, well, it's a Japanese game, and not it was developed by Japanese, but it's based on Japanese culture. We're gonna play in Japan. You're gonna play one of the characters Japanese, but the other is African. I mean, it feels out of place. But to give you guys all context, a little bit of context, and by the way, I'm gonna be very concise when it comes to this. The history of Yasuke is very minimal, to say the least. We do not know much about him. All we know are snippets of knowledge here and there that someone wrote, and someone with some significant bias. And many media attempt to portray Yasuke. They seem to give him a lot more importance than he gives the impression that history gives him. No, I phrased that completely horribly. What I mean is that most of the depictions of him in media seems to give him more importance than he actually had in actual history. And I say this because, again, we do not know much about him. If he was truly that important, there would be a lot more written about him. Of course, that's not cut and clear when it comes to history. There are there are some historical figures that were really important and that we do not have much written about them, or we do not understand that much about them. Or what was written about them is very biased, and you need to take it with a grain of salt. Yasuke, in this case, fits that bill. Because here's the concise history of him. He was, along with some Jesuit missionaries, going to India, and in their first stop they stopped at Japan, where Noda Nobunaga, a lord, a shogun, I believe he was a shogun at the time, of Japan, a very prominent lord of Japan, took great interest in him, not actually believing that he was genuinely black, asked him to wash his body from the waist up. And after washing himself over and over again, he was proving that he was not actually painting his skin black, he was actually black. And after that, the Lord took great interest in this hulking man from a distant land and took him in his service. Although he seems to have served more as a page than as an actual fighter or advisor, but he saw service with him and possibly even service in combat at some point, since the last historical documented appearance of him was after a lost battle. And the battle is known as the Honoji incident, where Oda Nobunaga was betrayed and attacked by one of his senior vassals, Akechi Mitsuhide. I'm so sorry for pronouncing this wrong. And after that, he was expelled from Japan, and not necessarily expelled. His lord was defeated. He committed seppuku, and he was there to witness the seppuku ceremony, and he survived the incident. But he does not seem to have been all that important when it comes to the political, economical, and even military warfare history of Japan and how it developed afterwards. So now with all that out of the way, and out of just one little bit of snippet of detail, we do not have many depictions of him, and the ones that we do are not confirmed to actually be him. So yeah, he's a very mysterious figure throughout history, in Japanese history. There's not much written about him, and most of what we know about him is also surrounded by speculation, okay? Now, on to the trailer. Let's talk about the trailer. And in my honest opinion, the first thing that comes to mind when I see this trailer is boring. Seriously, this trailer is boring as hell. Every time there's someone who's not fighting, the trailer bores me to death. Everything is related to this Assassin's Creed, even the other video called Who Are Nayoi and Yasuki, where they talk about both of these characters, they bore the fuck out of me. Especially how they're choosing to depict these characters, and well, to show you some examples.
Or choose another path beyond what we see.
And we must look for it together.
Talk about boring writing. Seriously, we must look for it together to search another path. How many times has this been used by Ubisoft itself? It's so boring, man. Are you serious? Are you serious? And they even have the gall to ask you to pre-order this. There's not even a snippet of gameplay after this. Something else that actually kind of bothered me a little bit is a problem that I have not only with Assassin's Creed but Western media in general, is this phrase over here from one of the developers and the narrative writer of the game.
It's the skills that she has and the values that she learns from her father in the people of Iga, which are valor, benevolence, and wisdom. And
valor, benevolence, and wisdom.
What?
She's a shinobi. She's a fucking shinobi. She does contracts. She fulfills the contracts. If the contract says, kill this fucker, she's going to kill him. She is a shinobi. They don't play fair. They play to win. They are opportunistics. That's who they are. They're supposed to fulfill a job. Honor and benevolence? For whom? Benevolence? She's killing people in this trailer. Where is this benevolence? Where is this honor? She's using every trick in the book in order to win a fight. There is... What? Why does Western media, Hollywood, and AAA developers always have the need to portray their main characters as morally perfect? Can they not realize how boring that is? Seriously, it's boring. What's the problem of writing a character that is morally dubious, that was willing to go through extreme lengths in order to achieve what they believe is right, not what's right for everyone, what they believe is right? What is the problem with writing characters like that? Why does every single character needs to be a perfect, morally perfect, and ethically perfect hero? Why? It makes for a boring experience, a boring character to know of. And most of what I hear from this trailer, that explains who they are, is just a boring attempt to... I mean, it's so cliched, it's so robotic. They say everything that you expect someone would say in this situation. It is the most boring. You know what it feels like? It feels like an NFL draft. You know, when they are interviewing the new drafts and they are like, "So, what do you think about going to this team?" And the guy goes like, "It's a great organization. I'm really happy to be here. I want to take God," and the same bullshit that the other 70 guys have said. It's the same thing. Even fucking Bill Burr made that exact joke. It's just such a carbon copy of everything that has come before. And Assassin's Creed is exactly that. It's a carbon copy of everything that has come from. And it has some stupid microtransactions in the middle of it. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck Assassin's Creed is about at this point. I really don't. I really don't know what this is about at this point. What are they trying to do with this game, I wonder? Most of the Assassin's Creed have come out in the last, 5-6 years, were mostly mid to garbage. Mostly. So you'll forgive me if I'm not hyped for this game, Ubisoft. So yeah, this is the main controversy that has been surrounding the new Assassin's Creed Shadow trailer. I hope this video was at least somewhat insightful to anyone that is watching. Hopefully, I mean, it's not a complete overhaul of Yasuke's history, but at least I hope it was informative enough for you to know that, yeah, he is an interesting character. Yes, he existed, but no, he was not as important as this trailer is making him seem to be, okay? It's very unlikely that he was a general of any sort, a military commander of any sort, or a counselor to Oda Nobunaga in any way. The trailer also didn't do it for me. I thought it was very boring. I mean, it's just a cinematic trailer. Cinematic trailers are supposed to be beautiful, but outside of the combat situations, the combat scenes, I mean, there's nothing much in the trailer that actually gets me going for this game. I mean, Assassin's Creed hasn't get me going for a very long time. I feel like most of you guys are also going to be the case. But this is what I thought about the new trailer, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a drag to talk about this, and hopefully it wasn't too much of a drag for you to listen to all of this. But here's my main conclusion. Do not pre-order this game. Don't do it. It's Ubisoft. Like I said in the beginning of the video, Ubisoft is a company that does not deserve your attention, your respect, much less your money, okay? And the only reason I'm talking about this video is because, well, I enjoy history, and I just get the feeling that Ubisoft, being Ubisoft, is probably eventually gonna fuck it up, and also because this game is not gonna be that good. I feel it's going to be a boring game. It's going to be a Ubisoft game, let's be honest. It's going to be just a fucking Ubisoft game. So again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Consider liking and subscribing, and well, welcome back to me. Never expected my return to YouTube would be a fucking rant video. But again, see you guys later. Bye.